This is
Okay.
World Series champion
Hi,
Alex
Alex.
Call. He's going to join us right now.
Always a privilege when we get to have a Los Angeles Dodger on the show, and that is Alex Call today, outfielder for your Los Angeles Dodgers, World Series winner and outfielder. Thanks so much, Alex, for being with us. We appreciate it. We're going to take you back for a moment. Other than winning the World Series, what was your favorite moment of being on this team and being a Dodger?
Man, thanks for having me, guys. That's it's a tough one because there's so many special moments. There's so many memories that are lifetime memories. But the first one that comes to my head is Kershaw's last start. Just being able to watch his career, be a fan, look up to him, as a Christian athlete as well, and just be able to see the fans interact and have the emotion that they had knowing it was his last start. So just being able to be a part of that and give him a nice hat tip for the last time in his career, that was really special. And, seeing his press conference and just how much he cares about the organization and all of his teammates was a really cool moment.
Yeah, having that opportunity to spend the last couple of months with a bona fide certified Hall of Famer, that has to be pretty cool. And understanding that those boys, obviously everybody there wants to win that ring, wants to bring that trophy home for themselves, but very unselfishly, I know how much those gentlemen wanted to bring that trophy home for 22 one last time. Yeah, World Series champion, man. Pretty cool. Has that whole thing kind of sunk in? Obviously, I know you've been part of the groups bouncing around. You visited the Lakers, you visited the Kings. Has that whole thing kind of sunk in for you?
It's just an amazing feeling. I still feel like I'm on top of the world, just enjoying it all. Could be a once in a lifetime thing. Hopefully we can do it again next year, but just to go from Washington, traded over at the deadline, and all of a sudden, World Series champion, you got to take advantage of everything that they're throwing at you and soak it all in. Just be fully present in the moment. And, praise God. It's just been an amazing run. It's been an amazing experience, and couldn't have asked to do it with a better group of guys either. They were really welcoming for me and just made me feel part of the team and made it easy to be myself and compete for it all.
You bring up a good point, and I want to ask you about that. You said, it might only be one time. There are guys that have played many years in this great game of ours, Alex, that never get to touch a World Series trophy. They never get to win it. So what was the vibe like when you come over from Washington? Obviously, this is a veteran group of guys, been there, done that. But what was the vibe like, and how much of what you just said, hey, don't take this for granted, how much of that was a message?
Yeah, honestly, the vibe was it was a little bit I wouldn't say, maybe just a little bit nervousing because when I got there, we weren't playing our best ball by any means. The Tampa Bay series was my first series, and I was like, from afar, it's like, oh, I know the Dodgers, they're going to figure it out. They're going to, once everybody comes back healthy, it's just going to be a matter of time and they're going to start rolling. But when I got into the building, it was like, yeah, we're kind of going through it right now. And I think the confidence was always there that we're going to figure it out. We've been here, done that. But it definitely took a little bit of time. And even the first month that I was there, we were right about 500. And so there was never any panic, though, because, again, there's just so many great players. There's so many good guys that the back of their baseball card is so incredible that you just know it's just a matter of time. And so it was really fun to just kind of see them lock it in, dial it up a notch, if you will. And as we get into the playoffs, even, it was just like, hey, we expect to be here. We expect to move on. We expect to keep going. And, then when we got to the World Series, that was like, okay, now we're finally here where we expect to be. And then let's win it all. You know what I'm saying?
I love hearing that perspective from you, because that's something, particularly Alana and I, trying to preach to fans all throughout the season. People complaining about, oh, they're not out here winning 162. You're going to go through these dry spells. You're going to go through points where people just plainly aren't hitting the baseball or not throwing the baseball particularly well. But this is a team where it doesn't really matter about 162. Yeah, it's important to some degree, but we're going to make it to the postseason. Chances are this club is good enough to make it to the World Series. And it is cool to understand, like, you got that like immediately. You get that, you're only there for a couple of months and you're able to kind of see that mindset from this club. They're going to turn it on when they need to. That said, there are some weird points. Obviously, you guys, you lose the final two games at home in that World Series there. You're heading to Toronto down 3-2. 3-2. What were the vibes kind of like on that flight to Toronto? And how important was, I'm going to call it that sniper that took down Dave Roberts racing Hesong Kim? How important was that to kind of get the juices going again, get everybody loose and ready to win those final two in Toronto?
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously, this is the highest stakes. This is the World Series, and we are in a can't lose situation. But I think how I was feeling, how the guys are feeling is like, look, if you told us at the beginning of the year we're gonna be 2 wins away from a World Series, all we have to do is win 2 games in a row, and it's like, well, I'd sign up for that, opportunity. I think we can do that, and that was it. It's like, we don't have to do anything crazy. We just have to win 2 games in a row. That's all it is. And, then we get to Toronto and we have our practice and Doc I don't even know where it came up from or what happened, but I was like, what is he doing? And then like, he started running like on the inside. I'm like, because at first I was like, okay, this is going to be a real race. He's like going with a little bit of a head start. And all of a sudden, as he gets around second, he goes, down he goes. Down. It was just so funny. It was just,
Woody loving it right there, by the way.
It was just like there was nothing you could do except hysterically laugh. And then he gets up, that's right, and he had like a hamstring like pull, and he wasn't faking that. That was completely legit, because he was like halfway through the race, he was like, oh, like this is real. Like I got to beat Kim right here. And he tried to turn it on, and he probably hasn't hit that gear for a while, and just. Oh, it was so funny, and it was just exactly what we need. We weren't tight, we weren't nervous. It was just like, hey, we got to go out there. We got the best team. We're gonna go out play ball, and it'll all take care of itself.
Yeah, the levity was perfect. It was perfect timing. You got to love Doc's willingness to be that guy and have some fun. I tell you what, Alex, you made the most of your opportunities. Nobody gets to play as much as they want in the postseason unless you're like a Shohei Ohtani or a Freddie Freeman or whatever it is, Clayton Kershaw, whenever he wants, and that type of stuff. But 4 hits, 3 walks, 15 plate appearances, a .533 on base percentage. I mean, you made the most of every single opportunity. How much pride do you take in just being able to post number 1 and produce number 2?
Yeah, well, thank you. It's certainly, there's a lot of pride that goes into it. Just knowing that you have to prepare and be ready to help this team. I mean, I came over this team and I'm like, this is the best team ever on paper. Like, I unbelievable. And the fact that they want me to just kind of come in and be who I am and take good at bats and all that stuff, like it was really validating for me. And so I took it and I'm like, all right, I have to just keep being who I am, but I'm going all in. And whatever that may be, whenever Doc puts my name on the lineup card or puts me in the game, it's my job to be ready. It's my job to be focused, and it's my job to help this team in any way that I can. It doesn't mean I'm always going to come through, but I know that every time I step in the box, every time I'm on the field, I'm going to be in the best position to perform because of how I've prepared. And so I think when you have that confidence in how you've prepared and how you're ready, then it makes the game easy to go out there and play and then trust the process. And in the playoffs, it's a little bit, the process sounds great, but you need results. So when you get results, it's also very rewarding. It takes a little bit of the pressure off, and you can just kind of keep the momentum going. So, really was just excited for every opportunity that I had and put my full attention and focus into every pitch, just like I always do. But to do it in a setting where this is something you always dream about. You want to play in the postseason. You want to play with the highest stakes, and just getting a chance to compete with the best in the world for a trophy. It just really, really special, and grateful to have the chance to do it.
Kind of expanding on the whole idea of playing time and role and all that kind of stuff. What would you say? I mean, even coming from Washington, you weren't necessarily playing every single day. I'm sure you took a little bit more of a step back than you anticipated in LA. But then you look at the other dudes on the 26-man roster, many 13 position players. You're like, that's a lot of all-star games. That's a lot of talent over there. What was the biggest challenge for you, kind of getting into that mindset of just staying ready? We saw Miggy Rose already talked about this offseason. He takes a couple weeks off, stays ready, stays in the moment, and has arguably the two biggest games for this team in games 6 and 7. For Blake Snell, I'll do the hand thing. But yeah, what was that biggest challenge for you in kind of not really necessarily playing as much as maybe you anticipated or expected in coming over here, regular season and into the postseason?
Yeah, well, like you said, I wasn't playing every day with Washington, and I kind of knew what my role was, and then Doc kind of laid out what the role was going to be as we were moving forward, and it just kind of makes you ready to do whatever. And kind of when your name's going to be called, when your name's going to be penciled in, you kind of get a feel for it. Either way, yeah, obviously you'd love to play every day. But again, like you said, when you look at up and down the lineup, it's like, hey, I'm cool just, gelling in with these guys whenever they need me. And obviously, I continue to work, continue to grind to the point where I would love to be in that lineup card every single day. But that's not up to me. All I can do is control what I can control, take what they give me, and then do the very best that I can, and then hope that I get more. I mean, when you do well, usually you get a little bit more. So if you perform, if you're ready, that you can only control when they put you in. You can't control when they put you in. You can be ready for when they put you in. And then when you do, if you're in a good spot, you're able to perform, hopefully your name gets in there a little bit more. And so that's kind of the mindset, the approach. You always want more, but you're content with where you are because well, one, this is an amazing blessing to be playing this game in the first place, an amazing blessing to be on this best team ever, and just having fun every day. So you want to play, but at the same time, you just understand that this is a team. It takes every single person to be ready, focused, and willing to do their job and just have a great attitude at all times. And that's part about being a team. And so that was, team first mindset for me, ready to be a contributor whenever I need to be, but then always hoping to perform and then get a little bit more on your plate.
Yeah, I love that.
That's all you can do, man. That's all you can do is do the best that you can and hope that it's rewarded and have a good attitude and a good team mindset. Talk about a guy that did his job and then some, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I don't know if you heard of him, but my word, World Series MVP. This guy absolutely shoved, would have, taken the ball at any time. And it was so funny when we saw the behind the scenes on Backstage Dodgers, a great crew there on Sportsnet LA, going in and following you guys everywhere. And everyone's like bowing down to Yama and all those things. From a teammate perspective, Alex, and just from a fan of the game, what is your impression of what he did?
Yeah, I mean, it was truly remarkable, spectacular. So cool. I mean, it's just so cool to be a part of that, to see it. I mean, you're so nervous in the dugout, like playing through situations in your head. I'm still available to go in the game, so I'm trying to just execute my role. But like, you're watching the game go down, and Yoshinobu comes in to, clean things up, and you're like, oh my gosh, like he pitched last night. He just did all this stuff, and he comes out there and he throws a 92-mile-an-hour splitter, like dotted. And it's like that looks the exact same as it did last night. And it's just like, how is that possible? Like in today's game, and guys just don't do that. So, and then to go a few more innings and close it out. And I mean, on top of his spectacular performances in all the other series and in game 2, and man, it was just so much fun to watch. And I just have such an appreciation for what he did for our team, being willing to go out there and take the ball, warming up in the 18th inning of the 18-inning game, willing to take the ball there. Just a true professional, great teammate, competitor, and one of the best. So it was just an all-time postseason and all-time performance, and everybody was blessed to be able to watch that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you got to have some people step up to win a World Series. My sweet word, did Yoshi step up for this team and for the fans, for everybody to go back to back for him and get somebody like you a ring, much deserved, all that kind of stuff. You know, you talk about role, we talk about playing time, we talk about now trying to run it back. What sort of things are you working on to be ready for that 2026 season? Obviously, we still don't know quite what the roster looks like, but right now you're penciled into that starting lineup. What are you working on? How are you trying to get better? What sort of communication have you had with the club about, what things are looking like heading towards spring training?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just focused on being the best that I can be. However they choose to use me is up to them. But I'll be ready. I'll be focused, and I'm working on just getting, better, bigger, faster, stronger. Continuing to have great discipline at the plate. Take my strengths, keep them strengths. Look at my, where areas where I can improve. For me, I think advantage counts. On the offensive side is something where I can maybe be a little bit more aggressive. And I think I was one of the best 2-strike hitters in baseball last year. So keep that, because that's the toughest thing. But then maybe just be a little bit more, a little bit more aggressive in those advantage counts. Not, staying within myself, but having a plan and approach to, try to drive the ball a little bit more.
Love it.
I wanted to say happy 6th wedding anniversary to you, Alex, and your beautiful wife, Samantha. I'm a little concerned, though, that you're sitting in the car. Is there a reason that you have to sit in the car? Is she upset with you? Or is it quiet in there because your son is in the house? I mean, what are we doing in the car, Alex?
That's exactly right. I was thinking, where's the best spot for me to have, because I love my son. He loves me. He loves playing with Daddy. As soon as Daddy comes in the door, it's time for Daddy to play. So Daddy's not quite in the door yet. So we delayed the playtime a little bit, and I figured this would be the most peaceful area that I could have a uninterrupted interview for at least a few minutes before it's Daddy duty.